welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps Winter Part 3. Today is November 30th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played on this channel, including full run-throughs of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Curse of Strahd, and now, most recently, Tomb of Annihilation. If you are more of an audiocast-inclined individual, we also are available anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, you can join us in the side chat of Twitch. Feel free to ask them there. We'll do our best to scan for them. Or you can join us on Discord, which again, the link is to the side chat or in the description of this video/audiocast. Also on our Patreon, we have, I am throwing up homebrew rewards there. So if you would like a stat block for Arjhan's crossbow, Cori's artifact ring, or next up, I'm thinking maybe throwing out the runt axe for people. So if you want to know what the stats are on the runt axe, hey, guess what? You can find that at our Patreon as well. But if you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, how can I continue to help support my favorite podcast? Hey, guess what? If you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, crop tops, throw pillows, journals, stickers, backpacks, aprons, clocks, shower curtains. The list goes on. But in the year of 2020, hey, guess what? The most important thing that we got up there are, of course, our Tiamat masks. That's right. We got masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, done by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, where all of the proceeds from those masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders in the continued research for a COVID-19 vaccine. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, again, go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. But that is it for my spiel. So hey, RJ, who are you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, but today I'll be playing Caelum, the Shatterkai Wizard Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'll be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Hey, I'm Cyber. I play Arjhan, the Draconian Ranger.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener, and I'm playing as Cori under the Eldrin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, our group had made it deeper and deeper into the Feydark, where you were getting ready to set up for a overnight stay behind some rocks, kind of set off to the side of this main thoroughfare that you believed would lead you to the Fomorian Fortress. Well, you're chasing a rather magical and fantastical urn. You believe that the urn is actually being held there, so you had reason to pursue. As you were getting ready for an evening stay, the sounds of a scuffle drew your attention over as Gwen and Arjhan went to investigate this, only to see as a werewolf and a small elven family ended up coming out of what looked like a side cave, being hunted down by a group of masked individuals only known as the Mard. You were then able to dismiss these elven pursuers, at which point you were then, you found yourself with a small elven family and a werewolf that were willing to tell you all about their stay in the Fomorian Fortress, known as the Illustrious Fortress. So there was quite a bit of some lore that was dropped in our side chats as well as in Nights in the Courtyard, so I'm going to just kind of give a rundown of what these elven figures describe the Illustrious Fortress as. This is a 3-mile diameter city that is heavily guarded along the outsides by not only Fomorians, but also the Mard, as well as other mercenary groups that they have hired. Inside of the city, there is a anti-magical effect that prevents any sort of teleportation magic, whether innate through the Eladrin or by other means through, like, well, arcane spellcasting, natural spellcasting, that sort of thing, as they want to make sure that their prisoners are, well, held. Speaking of, there are actually two different sections of prisoners. One section of this prison is currently called, I have to check what we named it, because I named it something silly, Solvhalt, also known as the Silver Hold, which is a untapped silver mine where all of the lycanthropes are currently being held, and then there are the lots. And the lots are where the regular Eladrin are being held. Inside of the city, you know that it houses some... at least a few hundred Fomorians, as well as other creatures, hags, tieflings, goblins, hobgoblins, as well as, you know, a few displacer beasts that people get to use as mounts. So if you are interested in poking around trying to find yourself a displacer beast kitten, well, you've come to the right city. With that in mind, they also informed you that there are, with this city, that there is a easternmost gate and there is a southern gate that are the primary entryways into this area, as this city is kind of set up against a large cave recess. So their back wall is actually protected pretty well by a natural foundation. The other entryway, the /exit way that this group of escaped individuals took, all were able to come through the sewers. So if that is a direction that your group would like to go through as well, obviously that is on the table. However, the sewers are usually heavily patrolled by were-rats, other individuals that have kind of aligned themselves with the Fomorians, and it is only by a matter of luck that this small elven family was able to escape, but in part thanks to a benefactor known only as Toymaker. And it seems like Toymaker is, again, the primary individual that has allowed them to escape. It seems like Andric, the werewolf of the group, the uncle to the Elven family, was actually on their way to be transferred to the inner city, but then the inner fortress, but because of the Toymaker's machinations, they were able to take that opportunity with their family to then escape. Same thing with the rest of the family. It seems like, as luck would have it, there were just less guards on patrol. People looked the other way to allow this family in particular out. They are unsure as to why, but that was all the information that they really had to go off of, and in a life and death situation, they preferred to live, so they made their way out, and that is where you all found them. So they are, and you all have kind of like set up camp at this point. I would assume that we are starting the process of going through a long rest as all of this is being spoken about. But is there anything that you all would like to discuss? We had met earlier this day, like in real life, to discuss what our plan is. So let's go over what your guys' current plan is, so that way all of our listeners and viewers at home can also know what you have in store for me.
Okay, I wasn't listening. One more time.
So, I think what was presented is Caelum, you and I are going to go there seeking an audience with the people in charge, presenting ourselves as mercenaries who have a very, very tempting gift for the leaders, that being the Caelum. Clearly we're going to go in with Cori. Ideally, that would get us an audience pretty damn quickly. They probably will not like that. We're banking on that they would absolutely want to execute her. hopefully I can convince them to make a big show of it. Maybe hold off for a little bit while they prepare for that. That would give the rest of us time to go around, try and figure out who this toy maker is, try and figure out what the situation with the prisoners is, hopefully free some of them, or at least sow enough hope for a revolution that whenever the time actually gets closer and we are going to be forced to assassinate the people who want to assassinate the Caelum, or execute the Caelum, there's enough chaos that hopefully the situation resolves itself, more or less.
I just have one question.
Mhm.
Cori, when we give them you over to them, they might like torture you and stuff. I mean, they're not just gonna keep you safe, right?
That's entirely possible. And
I mean,
looking at what they've done to the Mod, I am physically and mentally prepared for that.
okay.
So letting are you discussing this plan out loud around like Elven family as well? Gwen is
We're
shaking
probably
her
doing
head.
it in common.
Okay. Totally fair. Language barrier works both ways.
Take that.
All right. Sounds good. So Solana, who has been with you on this travel, has offered her services to escort the Elven family and this werewolf back up to the surface, as she has seen that she is not exactly geared for this kind of thing. But she wants to, she actually departs with you at least some additional knowledge. As you may have been aware, you helped, or at least you are considered favored by the Grand Matron Alira, this kind of like archfey hag, who's the mother of all hags. Now, Solana lets you know that there is actually, because there is a schism between those who support Alira and then the hags who have since gone away from her teachings, that there is actually a phrase that you can speak to a hag, and if they respond with the correct phrase, that you know that they are actually going to be one of your supporters, that they will then help you. You basically have to let them know, hey, we're cool. And the phrase that Solana departs with you is a 3-piece. So it is something that you initiate, you hear a response, and then you respond to them to let them know. That way it's not just like, oh, you accidentally bumbled into the right connection of words. Got it. So you will, in order to see if this hag is on your side, begin a sentence with Mother Matron makes a Machen.
What's the last word?
Machen?
Machen?
Yes. Maedchen.
Machen. Okay.
For our German listeners, it just means a daughter.
Mädchen?
Yes. Machen.
Yes. Kinder is
Yes.
boy.
Kinder is just any child. Machen is like a female.
Child.
It's
like
fine.
a girl.
Yeah.
Jungen is
Yep.
boy,
Also
young
youth.
boy. Yeah.
Yes. And then the response from the hag is Father falters far from fortune. To which you then have to respond, may the manor mind its manners.
What do you do if you have a stutter?
Alira likes alliteration.
And I can send that in our chat as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a quick question to the family. The toy maker, how did he first get into contact with you? Is there any hints?
So They don't really have a means. They didn't initiate any of this conversation. As far as they knew, the only interaction that they ended up getting from Toymaker was through a small fiendish creature with gleaming black eyes, a set of horns, as well as a little tail. They don't have wings in the way that these creatures are described. Arjhan, you being...
It's quasit.
Yeah. You being more... having more infernal knowledge would recognize that as a quasit.
Oh, the same thing that...
That
Parnell
Parnell /
had.
Peter had, yes.
Maybe we can use that. Arjhan, could you still locate those sort of creatures?
Yes.
We've got a lead.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so you have a lead, at least, on how to track down Toymaker based off of this quasit, and the quasit went by the name of Iggy. Iggy.
Put my name and go.
No, this quasit is not Iggy Azalea.
But it is from down under.
God damn
All right, we're going to bed.
it. All right.
All right, good night, everyone.
All right, so over the process of this long rest, is there anything that you all would like to do? You did pilfer quite a few tomes from the Underbridge School of Art and Arcana, if you want to browse through those at all.
Yep.
Gotcha. So, and then Caelum's looking through the books. The other three, is there anything that you all would like to do? Arjhan say nay. Okay, so Caelum, you end up finding a total of 6 books in total. The names of these books are Henkel's Guide to the Wilds, The Truth of Names by Alaric the Wise, Coralon's Light, A Beginner Guide to the Seldarin, Destinations Known by K. Trudgewell, Winter's Warmth, has no official author, and We Are Only Visiting.
I think he's going to skim through We Are Only Visiting first.
Okay. So, We Are Only Visiting is a brief history of the early days of the Feywild. This book talks about the early elven settlements in the Feywild. When the Eladrin first came, they arrived at a city called Solaris Relthwyn, which means Sun's Refuge in Elven. And it was still a verdant place. In order to live among the Fey, the people were tasked with taming the primordials. This proved to be too staunch a task, and only a small band of elves were actually brave enough to face against this task. Rodrin Silverthorn, Saya Tonfield, Barceris Goldenbarrel, Kiana Asterbow, and the elf we now recognize as Coralon Lotharin. Together, these noble Eladrin fought bravely against the primordial Fae, taming each one into a powerful artifact that could be used only by Coralon's most trusted warriors, the Kaelins. Kiana would harness the power of autumn, Saya the spring, and Barceris the dominant jungles of summer, but Coralon entrusted his oldest friend the most difficult job: to guard the other 3 isles of the Feywild against Vinru, to ensure that the enduring hatred that Vinru feels towards all of those outside of its icy realm can never be acted upon. For if the Archfey were to ever escape, it would mean our home is already lost.
If you can fit in 2 books, Winter's Warmth after that.
Okay. Winter's Warmth, as you are perusing it, it's a very quick read. It's not a lengthy book. It is actually a rather steamy work of fiction about a summer and a winter Caelin. And in the text, their love affair takes place within the walls of Solaris Relthwyn during the days of the early winters.
Trust the porn.
Caelum is reading. His face is slowly turning like a little red.
You okay, Caelum? You got a fever there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm fine. Flips
Well-
the page.
What are you reading?
Smut.
Really?
It's actually very it's actually very well written.
In
All right,
his
but I get it
defense,
after you, okay?
It is.
It's in Elvish.
Are there pictures?
It's a book.
At the
Some books have
beginning,
pictures.
at the beginning of each chapter, the first letter, like old Catholic text, is like a very large block letter that has some nice drawings inside of that letter. They're not, titular drawings, but they are well done.
Titular.
Maybe you could just read it to me sometime.
Sure.
Gwen is pleased.
All right, so you skimmed one book. You fully consumed the smut. You have time for one more book out of these 6.
What are the other 4?
Henkel's Guide to the Wilds, The Truth of Names by Alaric the Wise, Coralon's Light, A Beginner's Guide to the Seldarin, and Destinations Known.
Destinations known. He could probably get a synopsis from Cori about Coralon's Light.
Okay. As you are looking through Destinations Known by K. Trudgewell, you realize that this is actually a breakdown of how to track things with magic. This entire tome actually acts as a spell scroll of scrying.
Huh. Hey, Arjhan. Oh, right, you're sleeping. Okay.
He's very asleep.
Hey, Cori, do we have to give back every single book we borrowed?
I mean, you probably should. Why not?
I could track down quite a few things with this. Flip, flip, flip.
If it's for the greater good, then
The greater good.
if it's for the greater good, then sure.
I'll give it back at the end of the adventure.
All right. Hey, is that book called Winter's Warmth?
Yeah, I just finished it not too long ago.
Did it have anything useful? Anything that we could help Cypress?
Nope.
Are you
Nope.
sure? If he could learn the warmth of winter, then perhaps he'd be able to push back Vinru.
He will hand it over to her. See for yourself.
She flips through it and slowly her face turns red. Oh, I see.
He gets really good after chapter 3. Like a love triangle is introduced. Oh, sorry, spoilers.
She starts to open it up a little bit more and she just snaps it shut. Maybe later. Scoots it back to him. Walks away. Yeah, maybe in spring.
Cori, you realize after reading a couple pages, you recognize the name of the author. You always just thought your dad was reading regular fiction.
I thought for a second that you were going to say that her dad wrote it.
No,
That still deserves an indoor. What the fuck?
just had it on the shelf. Never talked about it. Never.
Oh, Knights in the
suggested that
Courtyard.
book. Anywho's. So, Caelum, you were able to get through 3 of your 6 books this evening. And the thing that you at least come across learning more about is that the Caelum statues that were in Caelim's bridge, you actually are able to put names to them now, as well as you're not sure where this city is that both Winter's Warmth takes place in, as well as is described in We Are Only Visiting, this area known as Solaris Relthwyn. I mean, you aren't familiar with a lot of the places that are on the Feywild. But from the places that Cori has at least described, you have never heard of this place.
Cori, this place that they mention in both these books, Solaris Relthwyn, is that an actual city, or... Well, one is a work of fiction, the other is actually work, so it should be an actual city, but I don't remember ever seeing it on any of the maps.
Am I familiar with this?
Make a history check.
Oh boy. $15.
15. Geography was not ever your strong suit, but you know at least that this city did exist at one point, but it was before because it was before the Primordial Fae were actually like handled and assigned a individual isle. Solaris Relthwyn was the original Elven kingdom that has since been lost to Winter. So it was once on the Isle of Winter, but with the deep snows, you're not sure where it lies or what happened to it after that point.
Interesting. She'll explain as much.
You were muted.
Once all this is cleared up, maybe that's a place I'd like to try and visit.
Well, if it's underneath the snow, and our plan is to pop out of the snow like daisies, it's entirely possible that we'll visit it a lot sooner.
I think I've seen that Mummers play.
All right.
All right.
Then anything else that you all would like to do on the long rest?
Winter's Warmth goes into Cori's bag.
Okay.
That's for later.
Caelum will actually try to sleep.
Okay. So you're trying to sleep. Make a religion check.
Hey. Oh, 26.
Okay. Caelum, as you have been trained to do, even though you do not need sleep, you are still able to lie down, and you fall asleep. As you do, you find yourself in what would be an empty room at this point. You see that there are writing tools that were set up for what looks like 6 individuals or so that have been untouched, unused for you're not sure how long. But you see that, and you recognize this room is the first room that you went in with the Order of the Silver Quill, but none of the individuals that once were here are here currently.
I imagine he steps into the room and he gets those sort of war flashbacks to coming back here as Father Linar's puppet and just decimating the place.
It has since been cleaned. There are no bodies. There is no blood. There are simply cushions on the floor, an empty book, and a quill at 6 separate stations.
I'm really sorry for all I've done. All I can really do is hope to make amends. And he'll head to a writing station and begin to write.
Okay. And what is Caelum currently writing?
The Language of the Lost, a primer.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, long rest goes by, otherwise uneventfully. And come morning, the Elven family once again expresses their sincerest gratitude, all in Elven, towards your group. But Arjhan, you and Gwen can still get the body language of them being like, thank you so much. And then as they are getting ready to leave, the little elven girl, Vivian, will actually come up towards your group. And she looks up and with a little curtsy, she says, thank you, in common.
Oh my god. She's so cute. You're welcome.
And she just looks up at your group. She only knows how to say thank you. So, like, you expunging more at her, she's just like, thank you. Like,
Thumbs up.
Gives another big smile, and then we'll go back to her family.
It's in the courtyard.
And Sister Solana ends up departing, wishing you all the best of luck. And that if anything does end up happening on the surface, she will, with her magics, at least let Caelum know, her coven mate, what is going on the surface.
I'll give you a report on what we're doing too.
Oh, that would be lovely. Oh, it's like we're pen pals. I'm going to miss you, twin.
Would it be more dream buddies?
I could visit you in a dream. Could play like charades or something. Like you guess what I'm trying to say with like bodily movements, and then I could. Do you like games? Are you familiar with Fireball? It's a dice game. And she just is like asking you all these questions that needn't be asked, but she will miss your group.
No, but I do like Ordstone a lot.
I have not played Ordstone in a grip. I will have to refresh my skills.
Goodbye, Solana.
Goodbye, Caelum. Goodbye, but not farewell for keeps.
Goodbye, crazy lady.
I'm not crazy. I like candy corn. With that, she will begin making her way a ways with the rest of the Elven group. So, you guys now are at a situation, at an impasse, so you will. There is the cave that will lead into the sewers, or there's the main road that will just lead along the main road until you reach the Illustrious Fortress. What is your preferred method of travel here?
Main road. Right?
Yeah.
Do we... Caelum, do you still have that rope?
Rope? Yeah.
Yeah, the silk rope.
You'll pull out 40 feet of silk rope.
All right, Cori.
She'll take off the Ring of Worth and hand it to Arjhan.
No, keep it on.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. Will they I mean, are they going to recognize you without it?
They will probably know about it. It's probably best not to keep it on the prisoner.
All right, that's true. Yeah, you take all the weapons away from them.
Oh, I was going to take it after, once we present you.
But But why wouldn't she use it against us?
That's true. All right.
I could definitely do that.
All right, I take it.
Okay. So you also know that from your resting spot, it was going to be about like a 3-hour journey to actually get to the Illustrious Fortress. So if you want to do all of this prep, maybe like 20-30 minutes away, just to be sure.
Yeah, that's essentially what we're doing, I think.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure. So in case you were traveling for like hours, bound up.
Uppies!
Uppies. So when you reach this cavern, it is massive. Not only is this sized for creatures who on average are anywhere between 25 to 30 feet tall, in the grand scale, this is a incredibly sized cavern. And looking down at this fortress, which again is a 3-mile diameter fortress, you see large stone walls. You see a center gate that looks like it's not particularly well traveled, but there is a line actually of people trying to get into the city at this point. Some are Fomorians, others are small folk. It looks like the Fomorians, of course, are getting special treatment, being moved to the front of the line, and the small folk are being pushed to the back consistently. And the back end of this fortress is pressed up against a massive cave wall. Almost like this place was just hollowed out for individuals to actually make a fortress here. Probably magic. Giants are known to do that sort of thing. But as you get down, you start hearing murmurs and conversation. Some are speaking in common, others are speaking in giant. I'd like for everybody to roll perception checks to see what you are able to hear through a multitude of murmurings.
12.
Also 12.
25.
10.
Okay, so Cori, you are more focused on how hard your heart is beating in your chest right now. This is going to be the play of the century if this ends up going off without a hitch, and right now you need to focus on looking panicked. So, focusing on your own panic is a pretty good idea at this point in time. Arjhan and Gwen, Arjhan, you're hearing a lot of complaints from people just being like, oh, what? Come on! Like, they want to get into this fortress, and you hear that some people have actually been waiting in line for days to get in, but they just keep getting moved to the back, and if they ever speak out of turn, the Fomorians use their eyes to make them all physically malformed. Thus, they are learning to be a little bit more quiet about their overall complaints. Gwen, because you speak giant, one of the things that you are actually able to pick up is the phrase birthday.
I'm sorry, I might have gotten that wrong. I think they said something about a birthday.
No, not again.
Caelum, with your 27 perception?
25.
25? You are able to put this together based off the other interactions that you are able to hear, and then Gwen saying something about a birthday really puts it in. Apparently, the Fomorian ruler of the city, the Dyson, is having their 225th birthday celebration within the next 4 days. And so all of the Fomorians from the surrounding areas, a lot of these small folk that have pledged fealty to them, are coming into this town in preparation for this birthday celebration.
Oh boy. And what a birthday gift Cori's gonna make.
Oh, shit.
It's gonna be great.
Before we had bound Cori's hands up, Caelum would have bandaged up her mechanical arm all the way through to just hide it.
Probably a good idea.
Great. Another layer of complexity.
Hi, Mom LV.
There are a lot more Fomorian here and people who've sworn to them than we've anticipated.
Well, shit. Okay. This is good, right?
Probably. No, this is bad.
Why is it bad?
Well, it's the king's birthday. Heightened security means more guards.
All right, fair, but
And a
they're
lot
gonna
more.
be in a better mood.
They will be in a better mood, but then again, let's bank on him executing Cori be the piece de resistance on his birthday.
Solid. It's gonna be fine, Cori. She pats her leg.
She just nods. But then, and like tries to give her a reassuring smile and then realizes that's probably not a good idea. And then she's like, oh no, I'm scared. I'm upset. She'll never get away with this.
Do we need to like cover your head? Like put a bag over it?
That seems rude. But if you must.
It'll be fine. This is fine. This is fine.
Should we like shove her around a little bit?
Oh, no, I can't.
Walk faster, Cori. Gwen kicks Cori. in the shin.
Ow!
Shut up!
It's always the shins with you.
I am 3 feet tall, okay? You want to go into this?
You're always darting out in front of me like you're trying to trip me.
You're supposed to be a prisoner, Cori.
I mean, you've never done that before.
just be quiet.
Arjhan just like shouts something in Draconic. It sounds intimidating.
At that, a few people in line like look back to hear what this foreign shouting is. None of them seem to speak the language, but it looks like you are drawing a little bit of attention towards yourself.
Okay.
Then make a performance check.
11.
Okay, so an 11. With an 11, as you are yelling at your companion in Draconic, just peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots, but like in a language no one else can understand. These, like, one of the Fomorian guards like leans around one of the others and like kind of spies your group, and then you see him like nudge his buddy and he points over towards where you are, and you're able to pick up basically that he's saying like go check that out, as this large Fomorian ends up trudging his way over towards your group. And when they
Fomorians speak giant, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And when they arrive, they have like a droopy lower lip, and just, what are you doing here?
We have a gift for the king.
Oh. Everyone here has gifts to the dice end. What gift do you bring, small child?
You guys see Gwen just like, I'm gonna let that one go because I don't want things to get rough.
Do you speak common?
Common rusty.
Just tell me what I should tell him.
Oh, I mean, what did he say to you?
Oh, he said everyone here has a gift.
We heard that they were looking for mercenaries, and we're damn sure nobody has a gift as good as one of the Caelums to present to the king.
And he like looks at you, kind of cleans his ear a little bit and flicks it. Well, show me.
Where's your supervisor?
Make a persuasion check when you ask him for his supervisor.
Where's your manager?
Oh
Gwen
boy.
multiclassed into Karen.
Oh, I rolled a nat 20. It's a 21.
Oh my god. Gwen, you got the power crop top on, hands at your sides. Just let me speak to your manager.
Half-shaved head,
Yeah, you like pull it back in a ponytail just for this moment, but it's one of those like you can tell that like this it's not healthy for the scalp. This ponytail's tightness is not healthy for the scalp.
I feel like you're describing someone like particular, and
No.
I'm a little concerned.
No, no in particular. So this Fomorian kind of like reels back a little bit and just, hey! And he like motions for the one that's like wearing a little bit more armor. It's protecting a large hump that he has on his back. Just like you see that Fomorian roll their eyes a little bit. Deep sigh. And then can I help you?
Common
We-
giant.
He speaks common.
We heard that the fortress was looking for mercenaries, and well, we're the best. We bring a gift for the king.
Everyone's bringing gifts for the king. That's what
Yeah,
I
but
told them.
But everybody didn't bring a Caelum.
And at that, the Fomorian kind of like stands up a little bit more. And how do we know you brought a Caelum?
Flash the ring.
Guys get a little bit larger. Just this way, follow me.
Ring goes back into the bag of holding.
Where it is safe. And the Fomorian then trudges forward. And you see a lot of these other people in line are just like, oh, god damn it, come on! Like, they have been waiting so long, and you guys just fast-tracked yourself. You got the Disneyland fast passes for Fomorian Fortress. It's fine. And you are led into this guardhouse. And you're set off to the side. You can see that there is a very large desk. And then adjacent to it, down one of the legs, is a smaller desk. And you can see that there is one of the Mard is actually sitting at this desk. But it looks like they have a quill that is set up next to a piece of paper. And the guard captain then stands behind the much larger desk and says, "Send your mercenaries.
Yes.
Name."
Tyrant security.
And the Mard at the desk dips the quill in some ink. Tyrant security. They bring a Caelum. Writes that on there as well as a description of, you see them writing a description of your group, as well as a brief description of the Caelum, but there seems to be a lot more scrutiny being paid towards Cori at this point in time. As they wait at the guardhouse, or as you guys are filling out this paperwork, you see this guard captain end up going over to an alcove. In this alcove, there it almost looks like a seashell, like a very strange looking seashell, but it is massive, and you see them grab it and then say something into said seashell. And then they put the seashell back up onto like onto its shelf. Gwen, make a perception check.
Okie pokey. 18.
Okay, so with an 18, you get the idea, as well as like hearing bits and pieces, that he is relaying this information to higher ups to let them know, like, hey, great job, gang. And at this point, while you were filling out the paperwork, it takes maybe 25, 30 minutes or so. And then a group of armored guards, there looks to be about 8 of them in total, end up approaching. And what really separates these guards away from the other Fomorians is that they all have this like opaque white face paint on, and then it looks like is like almost like a red dye or paint that seems to be on their faces as well, that goes around their cheeks, around their jaw lines, that kind of goes up towards where their lips would be. If you're familiar with kabuki theater, it is very much that style where they are accenting their physical features with this red paint, and are looking down towards your group. These guards relay in giant information that you've already given them to these higher ranking guards. And one of the guards will actually pull out what looks like a large sack, and they set it down in front of your group. And this large sack is about Gwen's size, and you hear the sound of jingling coins on the inside. And these face-painted guards say that they will escort the prisoner the rest of the way. They thank you for bringing this prisoner here, but they can take care of the rest of the job.
No. We want an audience.
Make a persuasion check.
I should not be the one talking. Why do I am the one talking?
I can't talk
Can't
to
speak
them.
giant.
I know, I'm sorry. Oh boy. That rolled a 19. The 20.
Amazing.
Roll 20. Our D&D Beyond. Thank you so much.
Okay. They rolled lower than that in order to defend themselves against this persuasion. But Gwen, you are still in full Karen mode. There is no manager that is too high for you to complain to. And these guards sort of like look at each other, and then one of them is about to say something, and the other says, like, look, she's just going to keep complaining until we do something. This will look really bad on our performance review. Let's just do this. It's fine. So with that, they actually pick up the large satchel of coins to attach it to themselves, to make it easier to carry.
Gwen looks back at the group and like does like a thumbs up on her, like, so nobody else can see it.
And at this, one of them will reach down and actually go to pick up Cori. Do you stop them?
I can't physically stop them.
I'm actually gonna say, like, whoa. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prisoner transport.
We can present her.
You rolled high enough on your persuasion that they are just like.
Do you want to talk about this more? We're wasting time. I don't think your king's gonna be super happy about this.
There's a long line behind all of you at this point, and again, it's just people bemoaning that they have been waiting here for days and have not been let in.
We are going to make a lot of people upset if you do not let us in.
I could stand here and argue all day.
So with this, they will escort you through the city. They are on high alert. And as you are being led through, you get a look at you're able to get a look at like the surrounding architecture, that sort of thing. And you realize that everything here is built slightly off, but it is with purpose. Everything isn't supposed to be a perfect square building or slightly larger. Like, it'll go up one floor, and then the next floor you can see is just slightly skewed. So there are edges and other like bits of the building that are stretching off only slightly. It's like Tim Burton drew this town. Like, everything is either like very skinny and off kilter, or again, it's very large and just kind of jutting out in places that it shouldn't, but it all looks cohesive. It all looks like it has its place here. And they will walk you through the main road. And as you are walking, those of you who can speak Elven begin to hear murmurs as you are, like, the guards are basically saying, like, make way, the Caelum has been captured. And these elves are picking up on that, and they are like looking towards your group as a like with their face, just, why would you do this? Others are looking towards Cori, who, do you have a bag on your head? No bag? What was the verdict on the bag?
No bag.
No bag. Cori, make a perception check.
Okay. 16.
So with a 16, you are doing your best to just like stare at the ground, be mournful prisoner. And at one point you look up and you actually make eye contact with what looks like a beleaguered looking elven woman who just looks at you, and you can see the moment where a bit of their hope leaves them. As one of the people that she held as like Power Ranger status is being marched through the city for about, and the walk takes about 2 miles to actually get to the center. It's quick travel for the Fomorians, but it's a little bit of a trudge for you all. And you end up getting to the center wall, or the center gate. And at this point, the guards at the gate recognize your group being escorted, and they make way to allow you in. If anybody has any illusion magics or anything else like that they have up on them as you pass through. As you pass through this gate, those magics would fail. But I don't think anybody actually has any illusion magics up on them currently. So the inner fortress of the Illustrious Fortress, as it is known, you can see has banners that are set up. That are all proclaiming the birthday of the Daisen. And there are people making food, like small folk making food for other small folk, Fomorians making food for Fomorians, that sort of thing. And they've kind of turned your walk here into a mini parade to announce such a great gift being given to the king on his name day. And as you are getting to this place, you see that there's like a compound inside of this inner fortress that is much grander than anything else that you've seen in this area. It almost looks like a stretched out version of Coriander's spring home, where there are multiple buildings that are set out, but it's all sized for, again, people that stand 25 to 30 feet tall. And you are led into this place and told, not asked, but told, You will be respectful here. This is the Dyson's home. You
Yeah.
are allowed here because you have brought a gift.
Of course.
Should your gift prove to be a falsehood, they will add you to the prisoner lots.
Common or giant?
This is in common. They are trying to make it very clear to the small folk here that generally you are not welcome. But you are being allowed in because you have brought something of great importance.
Any particular protocol that we need to follow?
When the Dyson speaks, you will listen. When you enter into the room, you will bow. You will not interrupt the Dyson. You will present your gift. You will receive your reward. And should you so choose, you may remain in the outer fortress for as long as you please.
Yep.
Okay. And you are kind of given this like outside of an incredible set of double doors. And the thing that really is the most striking about this building compared to the others, this building has smooth edges. This building is not made with that kind of controlled chaos that you are used to seeing through the rest of this Fomorian city. This is something a lot more profound for the Fomorians. And when these doors open, you can see that there are 4 Fomorians, each with very unique face paint styles that sit 4 on the right side, 4 on the left side. In a back alcove, you can see that there is a large giant sitting on looks like a grandiose pillow that has a canopy over it, so you really can't make out their face at all, but you can see that they are wearing silken clothing, which the amount of silk used to create clothing pieces of this size would be preposterous. And from what you're able to see, they don't have any real, like, from what you've able to be seen compared to the other Fomorians, this Dyson does not look like they have any physical deformities about them. They look normal from what you can see. And again, most of the, like, shoulders up is shaded, but everything down looks fine. And when you arrive and enter into this room,
We bow.
one of the Fomorians says in common very quietly, "Bow."
Yep. We bow.
Cori,
Cori
do you bow?
pauses. Yeah, Cori pauses long enough to show that she's under duress and then bows.
And at this point, like, it looks like an attendant will actually make their way up from the Dyson's quarter and they will come up to your group and say, hands together, again, like this very expressive face paint on, say, "Where is the gift?" "An Eladrin does not a gift make. You promised the Dyson a Caelum."
This is the Caelum.
Of the fallen leaves.
And the attendant will go back over to the Dyson. Like, you see them lean in and whisper something, and the Dyson sort of like puts their hand onto their chin and listens.
Should we show them the ring?
Not until they ask for it.
And they
Okay.
nod. And in Giant, Gwen, you hear it's almost like a soft voice that seems to come from the Dyson. And they ask, what of the ring? And the attendant nods, and then we'll come back over. And again, hands clasped together. From what we had heard, the Caelum of the Fallen Leaves died in winter. How do we know this Eladrin that you have brought us is indeed the Caelum?
Arjhan will reach into the bag of holding. Because she came with this.
And you can see that the Dyson, like, hands on both sides of his large pillowed seat, like, leans forward a little bit. And there are murmurs from the other Fomorians that are in this room as well. And they all seem to, like, recognize that and say, you have brought a wonderful gift for the Dyson. What is it that you seek to gain as your reward?
We heard that you were seeking mercenaries. I doubt that you'll come across a mercenary with as much promise as we're showing right now.
And there are murmurs of agreement from the other lords in this room. Like, yes, yeah. So you wish to fight for us?
Oh, no. You misunderstand. We are Tyrant Security. We would like to take over your security detail.
And they look at you. There are more of you?
No, there aren't. Just us three. And here we are presenting you the Caelum of the Fallen Leaves.
The small guard does need new generals. And then they, as they say this, they double back, begin speaking to the Dyson. And the Dyson just sort of nods and waves their hand a little bit. And the attendant will then leave just for a moment. And when they come back, you see that they bring with them 3 night hags. And these night hags all look at your group, and they have very large smiles on their faces and say, "Oh, it's been a while since we've been able to write some contracts for surfacers. Oh, you don't look like you're from around here." And they begin to cackle as a group. And the attendant says, "If you would like to become the new security detail, there are openings available. we have our contract reviewers here to make sure that you are getting a fair deal.
A fair deal.
Yes. We cannot simply change up security this close to the Dysen's birthday.
Cori's gonna like tap Arjhan's leg and like pull him down. I mean, like
Yeah, yes, Gwen.
maybe we should tell them that we can wait for like a period of time so that there can be a transition. That'll give us some time for freedom, and we don't have to worry about a contract right away.
I'm not sure that we have time. If security is going to be tight today.
Well, maybe we can get like a rundown first, like while they figure it out.
When does this contract need to be established?
You seek to join the Small Guard. The contract would establish you as generals. Then, after a transitionary period, Tyrant Security, as you called it, would be in charge of the Small Guard.
Okay.
Paperwork must process.
Yes, and Mother Matron makes a matron.
Make a perception check when you say this.
That was slick.
Okay, 26.
26. One of these night hags seems to recognize the phrase. The other two sort of like squint and snarl a little bit more towards you. And the other, like, there is that moan of just like, oh, I mean, and like also snarls back, but theirs seems to be a little bit delayed.
So shall we begin? Can we get the rundown of everything before this, or is there more to discuss?
The only thing that is left to discuss is the ownership of the gift. The ring, if you would be so kind.
What's going to happen to the gift? Both parts of it.
Well, you have presented us a Caelum. Their execution will take place on the name day of the Dysen.
Which is
4 days from now.
4 days from now.
Will we be getting front row seats to this? It is our prisoner after all.
And they sort of like squint towards you a little bit, Caelum.
With all due respect.
If this is what you will for your reward, then yes, we can abide.
Caelum is gonna look over to Arjhan and just say, I do like a good show.
After all, why shouldn't I keep it? I'll hand over the ring.
Okay. And as you hand...
Making sure to get a long look at it so that in the future I may locate object on it.
Yes.
I would.
Yep.
As it's being handed over, Gwen was just gonna say, with all due respect, I would be very careful with that. It's not like an ordinary ring of power. If attuned to the wrong person, it will destroy them.
And that is why we give it to the most glorious, wonderful leader there ever was. And they take the ring and rush over to the Dysen, and they kneel down immediately and present this small ring. And the Dysen reaches over, picks it up, and then looks at it, And he seems to be enraptured by this thing. And kind of like tilts it over as it is so very, very small. It's like trying to get a really good look at a grape nut, or you're trying to paint the eyes on a Warhammer mini. It is just like small beyond reason. And they make a waving motion with their hand. And the attendant nods, stands up, and ushers these hags, you three who are not currently prisoners, and everyone else who are not the lords or Cori, outside of this chamber once again. And as Arjhan, you are presented with a large sack of money and several pieces of paper to look over. That is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stick with us and join us for this wonderful adventure. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go to a place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon! And we're back!
Steven!
Huh?
DanaeKeener.com.
It's not in Comic Sans.
It's
I'm not
not.
impressed.
But I am. That's all that matters.
I'm proud of this. I saw somebody bought a DanaeKeener.com shirt the other week, and I was like, huh, I wonder who that is. You can I can check what states people are buying things from based off of the tax rate that it ends up tossing up, because it'll say like tax taken AZ or tax taken FL for different states. So
I knew I was going to have to do it soon because you would be able to figure that shit out pretty darn quick.
too quick, but
Too quick.
that's okay. So your group has just been escorted out of the Dyson's Hall and given a very large sum of money. Hags, other people have also dispersed. The hags kind of are walking off by themselves, but one of them is going to like put a hand up and like I'll stay behind and help direct them towards the small guards headquarters, and the other two were like, yeah, whatever. And as this hag ends up coming up to your group, she approaches you, Arjhan, and she says, Father falters far from fortune.
May the manor mind its manners.
And she smiles a little bit and looks over towards you, Caelum, and says, I'm pleased to know that there are still some that respect the old ways.
Oh, we respect her quite a bit. She basically paid for our house.
Gave us her house.
Can we trust you?
And she looks at your group and says, can I trust you? Grand Matron was very specific that 4 of you were going to come in and put a stop to this whole winter nonsense on the surface. Now, I just watched 3 of you sell off one of your friends for coin.
Bigger.
No, we
gears.
came here under a fuss in order to get entrance into here.
Do you have a place where we can talk privately, looking around for like any guards?
Or, yeah, is there just like a small space, like a broom closet or something? I might be able to work out something.
And she says, I have a building in the outer fortress that we would be able to speak freely in. If we stay too long in the Dyson's fortress, he might be a little bit more aware of our presence. So come, follow me, small guard and all of that. You're going to love Ardent. He is quite enthusiastic about his job here.
Is that like common ardent, the word?
Yes.
Because that's Not ironic would be the word term I would use for it.
They're a tiefling. What do you expect?
Ah,
This way. And she motions for you all to follow her. And it takes...
Gwen starts looking through her notes. Fucking Arden, I know that name.
And she will take you back to her home, her establishment, if you so let her. It'll take roughly around 45 minutes or so to actually get there. And when you reach this building, you can see that it looks like a rundown toy shop. And she will open the door and will motion for you all to enter.
your familiar wouldn't happen to be a closet, would it?
He is. What of it?
Named Iggy.
I think it's best we speak inside, don't you? Now, if you will. And she
go in.
Yeah, and as you go in, she will follow behind and then shut the door, lock the door. And when she does, you hear that there is a scrabbling on the inside of this building, followed by what sounds like a series of small shrieks. Just, as this small closet runs from the back of this building up to this night hag's leg, and just, starts clawing up
Frankie
a little bit,
yelling.
and she just goes down, picks them up, and you see that their bottom legs are just totally limp. Being picked up is just they go 110% body loose, but then she just sets them onto her shoulder. And says, "Now, how did you all come to know the name of my familiar? This is my first time meeting you, but it seems like you have a little bit more information on me than I have on you all. So let's go around the table, shall we? I'll start. My name is Baba Ferrell. This is Iggy, as you all have correctly guessed. So, to those who abide by the old laws, who are all of you? And what are you
Arjhan.
doing in this place? Arjhan?
Caelum.
Gwen,
Caelum, Gwen.
we're here to stop winter. But also,
But we also came across a family of people
Escapees,
immigrating from this place.
refugees.
Immigrating with an E. I hate those words.
And what was the state of them?
Being attacked by some Maud Eladrin,
I see.
but currently safe.
Unscathed. They're currently making their way to the surface with, I don't want to make any presumptions, but let's just say a sister of yours.
Well, that's good that they were able to escape while they can. You have my thanks. I'm assuming that you ensured their safety. Now, it's not every day that you see an elven child. It's been quite a while since I've seen any.
I'm not a child.
I wasn't referring to you,
Oh, okay.
halfling.
Thank you. Okay.
You're the first person who hasn't.
I can tell the differences between things. I'm not blind.
All right, good. Because everyone here has been asking me if I'm a child, and it's very frustrating because I am a fucking chieftain, and it's demeaning.
Gwen, do you know the frequency with which elves have children?
Not very
It is
much.
a very rare thing.
Ah.
For creatures that live hundreds of years, often it
Right.
is only one child, sometimes 2. More if you're lucky. But it just isn't as a big deal to the longer-lived races. But in the same sense, it is.
Right. Who are you talking about then?
Little girl.
Oh, right. Sorry. I forgot about them as soon as we left them.
You've got to work on your object permanence.
Well, to get back to the conversation at hand, we had come across them and realized that clearly there was something here that we could not ignore. So we're coming in here under false pretenses, and yes, have offered up our friend as a way for us to get inside. Now, we are trying to come up with a plan where we can either, well, any and all of the following: assassinate the leaders, rescue our friend, and free the prisoners. And possibly start a revolution among those prisoners.
Locate a relic that I want to say Damio, but it's not. Dyson is keeping, or probably keeping.
That can help us put a stop to the winter nonsense. Now,
It's a lot for a plate. Sorry.
to
This
to
is
any
to
and all of that,
start.
to any and all of that, will you help? Can you help?
Will I help and can I help? The answer to both these questions is yes. As far as what your starting plans are, it sounds like you're working from an end result and trying to find out what the start will be, and I am not opposed to this.
Well, we have 4 days until our friend is scheduled to be executed. We are hoping to perform an execution of our own, or an assassination.
I see.
One that can hopefully, ideally before that, we can arm or otherwise inspire everyone who is currently incarcerated. My request to become the new security detail for the Dyson, that was to get us in a position of power where we could free these prisoners and get in a better position to execute the Dyson, assassinate the Dyson.
I think I might be able to help you. At least get close. Are you familiar? How do I put this? Do any of you 3 have any kind of acting background?
My boyfriend does.
And is your boyfriend one of these 2?
No. I was just... it's fine. No, none of us have acting backgrounds.
I'm a quick study. I could learn.
I'm good at pretending things.
I'm not.
What? All right. The Dyson loves the amphitheater. He loves the plays and the shows that they put on because of the stories that they tell. He is easily entertained, amused. This year, he has slated himself to play a leading role in a play. This play that is going to be put on was supposed to be a very simple affair. The tale of the Elven intercessors who came to our fortress many, many, many years ago, betrayed the Fomorians' trust, the Thormar kings, And in this play, the elven interlopers die. He is going, if you have presented him a Caelum, he will most likely put your friend dead center of this play and make a grandiose show of killing your companion. Do they have a name?
Cori.
They will make a show of killing Cori. Quite literally, in fact. Now, I am going to be performing at this play as well. My sisters and I, we have magics that we can do to lend to an aid to a very wonderful show. With that in mind, in this play, the elf that appears has companions. If we get you onto the role of the small guard, as you have already explained and exclaimed that you are interested in doing, perhaps I can convince the Dyson and the other members of the amphitheater that you are there to to escort your friend, to ensure that they meet what the Dyson expects to be a grisly end in this amphitheater. However, with the Dyson playing the lead role, should your group decide that that is where they would like to kick off this assassination revolution, power to the people movement, it would be a setting which would favor you. You would be, however, stuck at the amphitheater.
Well, we've been
Right,
stuck
I
in
would
worse places
say.
before.
Yeah. Does someone want to roll an insight check? I don't have a very good insight.
My passive is 13. If that helps.
I will roll an insight check. 3! She seems trustworthy, guys.
The both of you can also make insight checks if you would like. And if your insight rolled against this is lower than your passive, just use your passive instead.
15.
Dirty 20.
15 and a dirty 20. She is telling the truth.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
My name is Baba Ferul.
Baba Pharaoh. Alright, what are they going to be doing with Cori until then?
I assume keeping a prisoner.
Okay.
Speaking of,
They will use magics to detect her thoughts,
ooh, okay.
gain as much information from them as they can.
Oh no.
And
Are you going to be doing this?
my sisters and I are on the board, yes.
Can you lie?
Lying is one of my specialties. However, lying to my sisters is not.
When is that going to happen?
Most likely later this evening or within the next set of days.
Okay. Let's assume that Cori knows everything that we're about to do.
Then she would not make it to the amphitheater.
Okay.
Do we have a way we can wipe her mind, guys?
No.
You don't want me answering that question.
Caelum? Is there a way we can temporarily take away her memories?
Not temporarily.
Is there a way we can take away her memories?
I do have modified memory.
Well, that will require us to get close enough to cast it on her.
Right.
Okay, let's assume that this needs to be done a bit more quickly then.
Can we put off this? Can you help us put off the interrogation, at least for tonight, so we can take time to think about it?
This is the Dyson's wish. You
Right.
just presented them with the gift. He will remember you. He will remember the glory that you have brought to his house. For you have just hand-delivered a Caelum and their ring of power.
What if we say that we should have a party tonight?
There are parties happening throughout the week.
But
It's a celebration.
right. But we get the Dyson drunk, like really drunk, and then they won't do it tonight.
And how do you plan on doing this, Gwen?
I have my ways. Wait, I don't have the moonshine anymore, do I?
I thought you used the last of that.
You gave the moonshine that you had left to your Goliath buddies, who had met you after you killed, I believe,
The Nightwalker.
The Nightwalker, yeah.
Right. That was the knockoff moonshine.
Yes.
Okay. Don't I have that? I feel like somebody gave me like lemon liqueur.
You gave that to the Goliaths in your.
Okay.
It was limoncello. You gave that to the
Right.
Goliaths of the Tread Thunder clan.
That's
Okay.
Cori's apology liquor.
Right. Well, I mean, it served its
Well.
purpose. I have the cask of dwarven ale.
On a
Is-
Fomorian. Sorry.
Is there a way that we can bust Cori out before the interrogation happens in a way that doesn't immediately draw attention to us?
There is a pause. Does your friend have a means of divine intervention styled resurrection?
Yep.
Is there any other way?
All right. Let's think about this for a second. They're going to detect her thoughts. How likely is it that she can fight that?
I can do my best to thwart my sister's attempts and butterfingers my way through it, as it were. It is 1 versus 3. 1 versus 2, sorry.
Do have a contract, but seeing as you're already in a coven, breaking that would already alert your sisters to any mischief you're up to.
This is true. If something were to befall my sisters, well, there might be an opening.
Are you asking us to take care of your sisters?
I used to make toys for people, Arjhan, and I was good at it. For their name days, I would hand out small dolls. For other celebrations, rocking horses, chariots, even automated creatures, mechanical in nature. I tinkered with them. When I was younger, my sisters and I formed a coven. Then we found the Fomorians. Now I don't make toys anymore. I make weapons for people. I make the things that others use to take smiles away from people like that elven child. Seeing that smile reminded me of what I used to do, of who I used to be. of the person I would like to be once again. The only way I can do that is outside of my coven. So I am not going to say openly that it is my desire for you to kill my sisters, for that would be immoral. That would be wrong.
But if you were to
suddenly find myself without a coven, where I could once again make toys.
If you were to accidentally divulge the location of which your sisters lived, where someone could plan a small-scale assault on them.
Or just invite them over for tea.
Oh, that's true.
Or a contract negotiation.
Contract negotiation, that I can do.
I'm assuming you don't want to do that in your home.
I feel like it would be in poor taste and would lead too many sniffing noses around.
Do you have any place you would recommend?
Baba Riven's house. She always decorated it very poorly. I did not appreciate the decor. Not once was her style ever. She called it fetch. Keeps trying to make it a thing. It's not going to happen.
It's not a thing.
Thank you.
It's not a thing.
I'm glad the surfacers are at least well equipped for this.
When this does kick off, I do recommend you make haste from the premises.
When this kicks off, I will have to stand and fight by my sisters. I will do my best to make it appear as though I am missing. But if I hit you with a lightning bolt,
expect a counterspell in your direction.
Sorry.
Of course.
Well, T, no hard feelings?
No hard feelings. Now, make yourselves at home. Try not to steal anything. I will go and let my sisters know what your plan is. To sign the documents.
Right.
In the meantime, when the time is right, I will send Iggy for you. But until then, get cozy. And when I see you, I promise I won't try to kill you very hard. However, as a reminder, we would be part of the amphitheater show. If things didn't end up working, I could try and manipulate things in your favor during the fights. Just as something to keep in mind. And with that, she will bow out. Cori, do you speak giant?
Nah.
Okay. So you are in the Dysen's chamber as you see your friends ushered out with a coven of night hags as well as the attendant. And you are in this incredibly sized room with 4 Fomorians of renown on either side, and then dead in front of you, slightly overcast, is the Dyson, who is currently looking at this ring. And they motion with a set of fingers for another attendant to come. You hear them give the ring to the attendant and say something in giant. The attendant nods, and with this small ring on a pillow, will make their way out of this area.
As the attendant is walking by, like she just kind of follows it with her eyes and says, "It's a nice trinket, isn't it? Bit small for you, though. There's a button on the side that makes it bigger. Hand it over and I'll show you."
In Elven, you hear from the end of this room, from the Dyson, "A small button, you say? I have studied these rings," and they bridge their fingers. "I need simply attune to it, and it would fit my finger regardless of size. Now tell me, Caelum." And they stand up, and as they do, all of the other Fomorians bow. And you see them step forward. And the Dyson's face is smooth. Their hair is pulled back and looks very well combed. Their eyes are bigger than they should be in where their face is. But you see that they are painted in such a way that it seems to accentuate their look towards you. Actually, yes, RJ. Have you ever seen those photoshops of what an anime person would look like in real life?
I hate it.
That is the Dyson. Their face is painted white with these very nice reddish streaks that come down, 2 from their lower lip onto their jaw that traces, others that go around their cheekbones, and they look towards you. And you can see that their mouth doesn't move when they speak, but you can hear them still, as if they are speaking to you from the same source. And they say, "With this power, I shall conquer the primordial Fey."
Ha!
And one of the lords, like, shudders a little bit, and the attendant behind the Dyson, like, says something in giant, like, "How dare you!" And the Dyson stills them with a hand. And they come over towards you, Cori. And they squat down so their face is level with your entire person. And they say, "On display for all to see, your death will be the death of their hope. They will watch you fall. They will watch you suffer, and when they do, they will be broken. Just like you left us." And again, their mouth is closed. Their eyes are looking at you rather intently.
Her smile fades. She just gives him a very hard look and says, "Then enjoy the moment while you can. Because you can kill me, and you can enslave my people. But I'll tell you something you can't do. Wraith will never accept you. You can't tame the primordial Fae. We were the only thing standing between you and winter. So enjoy your name day, because your doom is already etched in ice."
And you see the Dyson's lips curl into a smile. "I do not need Wraith to accept me. This is why I have the urn. As for my fate, I think I will enjoy killing you." And as they say this, you see them open their mouth as you see what looks like an eye inside where the opening of a mouth would be, but there are at least 6 different pupils that are all rotating around, and these painted eyes that he has been looking at you from also open. And there are, again, more of these multifaceted, almost bug-like gaze that peer out. Cori, I need you to make a charisma save at disadvantage.
Andor, what the fuck?
21.
Okay. So you are only going to be taking half damage as you meet the save.
Great.
Now, normally as well, the Fomorians can use this ability once. This is not the case with the Dyson. So as long as you are here, they are going to continue just using this evil eye ability on you until you are on the brink of death. And then they will leave you. And they motion for an attendant as you are magically mangled. The attendant picks you up. They take you to a chamber that looks like it has a black orb in the center of this room. The attendant makes a motion over this orb. You see an opening appear at the top, and they dump you in and then close the orb. And Cori, you are in a space of utter darkness. Pitch black. And the only thing that you have as far as your senses is the pain that comes from the magic, from the evil eye. Thankfully, you managed the first save and have seen what the Dyson is capable of, but you are alone. At least for now. Now, back to the rest of the 4 keeps. Eventually, there is a quick scritching on the lower part of the door of this old toy shop that you are in.
Are we there alone?
Yeah, you guys got left here. She said that she was going to
okay.
send Iggy back for you when things were ready.
Oh, I opened the door.
Our
Wow.
Arjhan's just like got his like on a table. He's just like got a like towel or something like out, and you just see him like like his crossbow's like disassembled, and he's just like trying to put it back together. Like he just finished cleaning it.
Yeah, I would say that you guys would have enough time for a short rest in the meantime.
Oh shit.
All right, so what's the plan? We're going to try and kill him right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
We're gonna try and kill the Hags, not Baba Pharaoh.
right. Do they all look the same, Endor?
Baba Farrell has a... It's almost like her skin has a wood grain texture to it. Almost like a dryad, but not really. Baba Weva is... She looks like a Trisket if a Trisket was a person.
Gross.
And Baba Riven, from what you could see, she had a rather undignified looking scar that kind of stretched up from her chin across her lips and then went through the most part of her face. And it looked like she wore a half mask that kind of settled on one of her horns to keep more of a like a closed look on the left side of her face. So there is distinctive visual differences between these three.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I got that. Do we have a plan dealing with hags? Should we silence them?
Hit him hard, hit him fast.
I mean, if
Hit,
you have
hit
anything like
one
that.
hard, hit them fast.
Okay.
Break
Which
the
one should we
coven as soon as
focus?
possible. Whoever gets off the first shot, that's who we
Whoever
focus.
doesn't.
Okay.
Try to take them down before they can make a move.
Okay.
Okay.
For Cori, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
In Abyssal, I'll say to Iggy, all right, we're ready. Take us.
And Iggy will nod in affirmation. It seems like they really enjoy the fact that somebody speaks Abyssal to them. And not in like a commanding tone, but in a like, do the thing that you're supposed to do. He has taken a shining to you.
Arjhan knows languages too.
And he will then lead your group through the city. And it takes roughly around 25 minutes to get to the next building, the home of Baba Riven. And when you guys end up seeing this building, it is like a weird olive green color. Everything else in this city is very like earthy tones, stone textures, browns, that sort of thing. But there's just this one green building that seems to kind of stick out like a sore thumb, and that is the building that Iggy is currently leading you towards. And as you approach this building, Iggy will run up and kind of like stand up, reach his hands up as tall as he can, and just full lean forward, bap, like slap the door. And when they do, the door does not open. It is a pull door, but he has made enough of a ruckus that opening up this door, you see Baba Feral, also the individual that you have identified as Toymaker, open up this door, and they look towards you and say, greetings, Tyrant Security. So good of you to join us. Now, there's the matter of the contract, if you would mind coming in. And she, you see that she kind of like forces a little bit of a laugh, but you can hear her sisters in the background just cackling at the thought of signing contracts with surfacers. Now, we said that it was going to be fair, and we'll try and keep it as such, honey. But you wanted to be generals of the small guard?
Arjhan, do you have our contract?
I believe they were going to write the contract while we spoke about it.
I don't know if I like that. They can look over it. No offense. We've dealt with fake creatures before.
Oh, these ones are smart. And they all just sort of like cackle towards you, just like all like leaning in. Just...
Well, I'm not one for contracts, but I can make some tea. Caelum will stretch. If you'll direct me to the kitchen.
Baba Feral will show you the direction to the kitchen to make some tea. And now that you are all inside of Baba Riven's home, you can see that there are like, she has mounted heads of Feydark creatures that she has procured, but some of them seem to move. Like there is like a it looks like a creature from the surface, like one of those Thrynaxes that you saw that every once in a while will just like run its tongue along its teeth, or you'll see like a small fly land near it and it'll like bite towards it. Like, it looks like this room is filled with these kinds of things. There are a couple brains in jars. You're not really sure what those are about, but it does look like like Dr. Frankenstein's hunting lodge is the aesthetic that's going here. But Caelum, you are in the process of making tea, and the two Babas are at it is a triangle table. They are sitting on one of the lengths of table, and they say, "So you want to write out your own contract? We can look over it if that's something that you wish. Are you skilled in writing contracts?"
No, but we have very good lawyers. Why don't you go ahead and discuss your ideas?
Well, our ideas are to keep things simple. See, normally, when we are in such a situation where you have brought forth a wonderful gift to the dice, and you kind of get to name your price, and your price was to take over the guardship. That's something that we can do. Now, there has to be in writing a description of a transitionary period lasting, let's say, what is all of your lifespans? How long do you generally live?
That's a loaded.
That
That's
is
a loaded question. Much
How about we
longer
call it a
than,
week?
you.
Sorry, what were those two questions? Gwen said call it a week. Arjhan, what did you say?
That's a loaded question. Much longer than you, and I would like to shoot.
Oh shit! Okay.
Shit. Okay.
Oh, we're doing it! Oh,
All right,
shit!
so Arjhan, we're gonna be rolling for initiative. You will have a surprise round, because I was taken for surprise on this. Gwen, I know that during surprise rounds you can enter into a
Act
rage.
as normal, yeah.
Yeah, you can just do your thing.
Oh, boy.
So yeah.
I'm never surprised.
So how's your day-to-day, Baba Pharaoh? Yeah, oh.
Well, I guess we're doing it.
No, that's good. They're split up. Gwen and I are where the main stuff is happening. You're back there.
Yeah.
18 for Gwen on initiative.
Should I roll as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Because again,
Natural 1 for 9.
Oh my god.
14.
Baba Farrell does have to pretend like she's on her sister's side. It's Baba Farrell, Baba Weva, and God damn it. No, not Task Manager. Get out of here. I hit the wrong thing. And Baba Riven. All right, so that is not too shabby for them. All right, so at the top of the initiative order is Gwen. So Gwen, you see, like in slow-mo, Arjhan has like moved aside his cloak, grabbed the crossbow, and like pulling it up Wild West style to just start fucking blasting in this house.
And you see as she looks over and sees this, her eyes just start to glow white in the slow motion as she like starts running forward as she goes into a rage. And she's going to attack one of them. The one that looks smaller. I don't know.
The one that Arjhan's pointing at?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Arjhan,
sure.
are you pointing at Triscuits or Mask?
I'm pointing at the one who asked the question.
Okay, the one who would have asked that question would be Baba Riven, who has the side mask.
Okay. I'm gonna do this recklessly because I mean they're spellcasters, so why not?
It's kind of reckless.
I mean it's pretty reckless. So 2 attacks. 18 on the first one.
Okay, an 18 hits.
And a dirty 20 on the second.
Also hits.
Okay, we're using the runt axe. Get to reroll ones. So that's gonna be, I can think. 14 on the first hit, and 12 on the second hit. And then I'll go ahead and use, well, no, I can't. That's a bonus action, right? No, action surge isn't a bonus action.
Action surge is just a thing. You can yell and it happens.
Action surge. Oh, 20 something.
Yeah.
And 20 also, so 20 something. So I let's see. If I roll above a 4, then I will hit them. If it's a 16 will hit.
Yeah.
Is that right?
16 will not hit.
18
Yeah,
is what
18
hit.
will, yeah.
Okay, I reroll 1s and 2s. Okay, that's better. 20 on the first hit and 12 on the second hit.
Okay.
And Gwen's gonna kind of just growl at this being.
Sure.
Yeah,
they are surprised. From where she stands, a figure that is similar to an elven child just leaped over the table and started beating the shit out of her. So, that's a thing that happened today. Next up in the initiative order, Caelum, but you were not ready for the surprise action. Neither was Baba Weva. Next up is Arjhan.
Yeah, so Arjhan gets out his crossbow and takes his first shot using a Dread Ambusher.
Okay. And is there anything you want to do on your bonus action, like a hunter's mark?
No.
Gotcha.
No. Does a 28 hit?
28 totally hits.
Okay. So the first time I hit, I'm going to mark Baba Riven as my favorite foe.
Okay.
So I'm going to be dealing an additional D8 as long as I maintain concentration on that, as if it were Hunter's Mark.
Gotcha. Okay. Thanks, Tasha's.
And I also get another D8 from Dread Ambusher. So 16 points of damage for the first attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the momentum from that first shot to just push myself back from the table and fire 2 more shots.
Okay.
Because even though I only get 2 attacks now, Dread Ambusher just gives me the first attack on the first initiative thing. 18 hits.
Yep.
Okay. For 11 points of damage. For my third shot, a lot, 28 again.
Okay. Yeah, that'll
For 16 points.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I don't know, LB. I don't fucking know.
I thought I might have missed that part, but no, we didn't talk about it. It's cool.
No, we just didn't talk about it. And so he's taking these shots and just kicking himself off the table to back off in the corner of the room. And whenever he hits the ground, it's like a dark corner, right?
Yeah.
We can say it's like sort of a dark corner. Arjhan vanishes.
They live in dim light. Holy shit.
Arjhan turns invisible as his bonus action.
Sweet. That's rad as hell. Baba Farrell. It is her turn. She is astounded. She thought that there was going to be more talking involved, but hey, guess what? Nope. This is some straight Wild West shit. Arjhan is just receded into a shadow. That means that we are back at the top of the regular initiative, out of the surprise round. Hey, Gwen.
Hey, Gwen is going. This is going way better than I thought it was going to. Gwen is going to use her bonus action to manifest an echo. She'll bring out Grayskull because he's the most physically intimidating. And she's going to summon him on the near the back door so that they can't retreat.
Okay.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
When you summon Grayskull forward, Baba Feral threw much blood coming out of her mouth. She's coughing. That's not good.
Not Baba Feral, right?
No, not Baba Feral. Baba Riven. Sorry,
Okay.
the one that you and
Sorry.
Arjhan both have just
Yeah.
been pummeling into. She hisses something at you, and she would be hissing it in Infernal. Arjhan, do you speak Infernal?
I do.
You hear her hiss the word necromancer.
Would I know what this was because it's been used for? No, I'm kidding. All right.
And
All right.
yeah, so that was your bonus action, was to summon Grayskull. You got
Yeah,
called a
yeah.
necromancer in a language you don't speak.
That's fine. Gwen just hisses back at her and hits her twice. Or we'll see. Hits her twice. Okay, that's 20. This is recklessly. 28.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And also 28, unless it's a crit. It's 28. Okay. So, okay. Double checking my stuff. That's a 1. That's a 12. And then I'm gonna reroll this one because I can. Nope, that's worse. And then so that is 21 on that one, and that's
For
still
damage?
a 2 on the first hit. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wait, do I get to reroll 1s and 2s every time? Like if I roll a 1 and then I roll a 2?
No.
It
I
should
guess
say in
repeat-
the feat. I think it's once per turn.
Yeah, you just do it. the
Okay.
once.
But double check your feat. Like
Yeah.
go into it, pop it out, and actually like see the whole
Right.
thing. It
Okay,
should
so
say-
that would be 11 damage for that.
Okay, hey, guess what, Gwen?
Oh, I killed her?
Yeah, this hag goes down. They had 11 HP going into the standard initiative roll, so there are now 2 hags remaining. Their coven is broken, and Baba Wava, aka Trisket Face, is, like, what the absolute fuckery just happened here? Necromancer.
Gwen, like, ah!
Yeah, so Gwen, that was your first attack, was to kill one member
Okay.
of this coven. So yeah, your next attack also hits because they share AC.
Okay. Cool. Even if the new roll is a 1 or 2, and you must use the new roll. Okay, yeah. So that was 11.
Okay. So it was 11 damage on the second hit as well?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'll shift through their square so that Gwen's behind them, just so it's, and I guess more thematic. Also, they can't. It's going to be harder for them to run away. Cool.
Okay, the creatures that are along, again, on the inside of this building that are all, the mounted heads are now, chattering. Some are roaring. There is shit that is happening. One of the brains inside of the jar is just, you see it, pulsing a little bit. But that is it. Unless, so that was 2 attacks. Do you have a third attack? I can never remember. No, you're not.
Not yet, no.
Gotcha. Okay, so next up is Caelum. Caelum, you're no longer surprised. One of the hags is dead. Arjhan just turned invisible.
How far away am I? Next room?
You are not. It's not another room. It was just a small alcove. You're maybe.
They just turned around.
Yeah, you literally walked maybe 20 feet. And then Arjhan was just Frank from It's Always Sunny. He pulled out patience and just started blasting.
Yeah, Caelum is going to look over to Baba Pharaoh, and he's going to sink into the shadows using his Blessing of the Raven Queen to teleport behind the last hag.
Nothing personnel, kid.
Overcharged with a nat 20 Nevermore.
All right, cool. Roll me that d20.
No, it's a nat 20.
Yeah, I know, but you overcharged.
Oh, I overcharged, right.
Please summon another unicorn. I just want this to
No,
happen.
he ages 16 years old.
Cool.
Cool. Hey, 121.
I'm sorry, but excuse me?
20 d10.
So, Caelum.
Wait, that's the damage? I thought that's how you're saying how old you were now.
I also thought that.
No,
No.
that's why I said excuse me. Well, they had 101 HP. Caelum, what does it look like when you dust this motherfucker before they can even think to act?
He teleports behind them, leans into her ear, and whispers in the language of the lost, "You are dust."
Shit. Thanos finger snap, she just...
Oh shit, Caelum.
Baba Farrell is there with a teapot that, like, for comedic effect, let's say is now just like it's like at the peak. Just
Arjhan reappears.
I would like to reiterate that I am on your side.
Oh yeah, no, dude, you're good. Drop rage. Was that what you were talking about? That's what you wanted? Was that good? Was that good? I mean, that felt pretty good.
You are all really good at this. You were not lying.
We're not great on the stealth approach, but we can kick some serious ass.
So, how are we gonna cover this up?
Because I can hide the bodies, sure.
Well, the body.
The body.
There's only one body there. There's a pile of dust that's like flittering in some wind nearby. And amongst the dust and the other body, you find 2 lustrous black gems that just kind of sit there. They look nice.
Are those things that we should or shouldn't touch?
Those are very helpful.
For you?
Typically, we keep them ourselves. You can just have those ones. They're called heartstones.
Ooh.
Yes.
Can I take one since I killed one?
Sure. The
I'm not
touch,
asking you.
the touch of a heartstone cures any disease.
Is that a thing? Is it in the...
It is probably not in the DMG or an item you can easily access. I will add it in, but under the Night Hags items, that is one of them.
Baller.
You guys have 2 of these jemmies.
Caelum's going to walk over to the head of the table where the hags were, pulls out a chair, sits down, and motions for Baba Pharaoh to the other side. And he's pulling out his contract.
Wait.
Arjhan is gonna ask. I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you need to hide this to hold it? Do you want me to hold it for later?
I would say I can dispose of it. If you would like to take my former sister back to my house, back to the toy shop after this,
Okay.
I can make sure they're discreetly disposed of.
I unceremoniously chuck her in the bag of holding.
Okay. And as you do so, you see Baba Farrell reaches into her pocket and pulls up what looks like a what looks like a bag made of sewn flesh. And she sets it onto the table and just says, "Just a moment." And she seems to, like, she'll put a set of fingers against her temple, and with a set of arcane hand motions, you all hear what sounds like a wailing as a bluish spirit that looks like a night hag is yelling angrily towards Baba Farrell, gets pulled into the bag. And she does it again, and another one. And this night hag that is being pulled into the bag looks like her other sister. And she cinches the bag tight. Says, "Now you don't have anything to worry about."
We don't have to worry about any of this.
No, this will, again, discreetly dispose of. I'm going to repaint. I'm going to get rid of a few things, maybe sell the house. In some time. Right now, my sisters are away on vacation and have left the interrogation of your friend to me.
We should write up a contract, though, while we're here, because, I mean, if people know that we got to do that, maybe we did that first, and then we left, and we have no idea where they went.
Exactly.
We have an alibi for being here. Anyway, Caelum, you said you have a contract.
Right. Consider it not a coven, more as a research agreement between 3 participating individuals. Yourself, Solana, I forgot what type of hag she was.
Dusk.
Dusk hag. And myself.
So this is more like a book club?
Let's call it a book club.
She will nod in agreement of this book club idea. And she will, upon reading over it, she has a few addendums that she wants to add in. Mostly just things like she doesn't want to share her familiar. If at any time she feels that your coven is going against what she personally stands for, that she will leave and abandon said coven. It seems like as long as you included that in the initial draft of this document, you would have been fine. It just wasn't something that Solana was thinking about because you offered her such grandiose power at the get-go. But it seems like Baba Farrell just like, hey, if this isn't what I'm going for, I am allowed to walk away. Like, can just leave. It's fine.
And right before she signs, Caelum will just look up and steeple his fingers together. This might twinge a little.
She raises an eyebrow towards you and continues to sign.
When did Caleb get so creepy, Arjhan?
He died.
Fair.
Okay, so Baba Farrell signs onto your contract. Do you all sign the contract that she has presented to you, allowing you to be generals of the small guard?
Can I insight or
Yeah.
Okay. 10. I'm generally insightful.
Generally insightful. Arjhan, you were a professional hunter slash soldier before all of this started. You are fairly used to like contract work for militaristic intent. it seems like there were some things that were already pre-filled out, such as you would become generals of the small guard after a period of 2 weeks, to allow for a transitional period. In doing so, your group, Tyrant Security, would incorporate the guards, the standing small guard unit of the outer fortress into your company. In which case, then all payments, other contracts would be deferred to Tyrant Security.
Like, I have to employ all these people.
They would then fall under your employ.
I can't make a shell company for this.
If you would like to put down the name of a shell company for this, you are more than welcome to. But when you had initially come into town saying you were Tyrant Security, met with the Dyson and said you were Tyrant Security, they had documents brought up for Tyrant Security.
Tyrant Security Consultants LLC.
Yeah, that checks. I mean, the person on the other end of this contract is just like, yeah, no, looks good. You killed her sister, so yeah, she's fine with this.
I need you to make something legitimate quickly.
Of course, my liege. But yeah, so after maybe 20 minutes of reviewing contracts, making sure everything's on the level, yes, all of the guards will now be under Tyrant Security Consultants LLC. Not to be confused with Tyrant Security proper. And is there anything else that you wanted to do specifically today?
I have a question.
Yes.
All of these things on the walls, are they dead or are they alive?
They're dead.
Like dead?
She nods.
Okay. Creepy.
Like
Cool,
I
that's-
said, I didn't approve of her decor.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Shrugs. You're more than welcome to stay at the toy shop.
I mean, I think we can afford a room.
That's
No
true.
offense.
No, it's fine.
I personally don't want to go wandering in a town where they just watched their only hope get pushed into the Dyson's tower.
All right, but
We-
if we're going to start this revolution, we have to go talk to people.
This transitionary period, when does that start, and can that get us close to the prisoners now?
Close to the prisoners, yes. When does it start? As soon as I deliver the document, it will begin. I will do that on my way to go and interrogate, and she makes very large air quotes, your friend.
We need to undo some of the damage that we just did, so can you let us know very quickly after everything's official?
May I contact any one of you with a sending spell?
Caelum will raise a hand, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it will be done. And remember who your allies are. And she, like, looks at you, like, kind of, like, checks her flesh bag on the side of her hip, like, I just watched y'all turn my family to butter. This is fine.
Whenever Cori was taken in, she still had her clasp.
She did.
Ooh, it's 25 words?
25 words.
Ooh, Cori. Da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Baba Farrell's cool. Need Baba Farrell's cool. She'll interrogate you, not really. We have to give prisoners hope again. You have 4 days. Are you okay?
You can respond to this message.
Okay. I'm fine. He's planning on using the urn to tame Worth. I don't know when. We have to get one or the other from him. It's 25 words.
Okay. And Arjhan, as you receive this message back from Cori, and you all plan the next stages of your assassination revolution, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say, first and foremost, thank you to everybody that decided to stop by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and or Dragons. We're in the Feydark. We're having a great time. Speaking of great times, hey RJ, where can I find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the channel, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream video games with my friends. You can catch me here every Monday, of course, as Caelum, the Shadowkai Wizard Cleric. This Thursday is our Session 0 of Elegant Magic, which is a Jane Austen novel that we are writing with magic. You can also catch myself and Danae over at the Hype Goblins channel on Sunday mornings, where I play Rowland Grandbrook, who is just a combat medic who stresses in combat medic as 3/4 of the party go down and he has 1 spell slot left. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. You can find me next tomorrow at 3:30, I think is when I start streaming this week, because it's the 1st. Yep. And on my channel, I think I'm going to be playing We Happy Few. I was told to get it. It looks really good. Or I'm going to be playing Fallout, but probably try We Happy Few. And then I'll be on GGK tomorrow evening. Wednesday, finale of the Rod of 7 Parts on Nerd Immersion's channel. Definitely the finale. We're fighting Miska the Wolf Spider. Oh boy, I'm a rogue. I'm out of my depth here.
Aren't you also possessed?
I was possessed, not anymore.
I
got better. And then Thursday back on my channel for some horror games. Lauren will be here. She'll be right here in person. We're going to play games together. We're both going to be safe. It's going to be great. We'll see you then. Okay, JaneKeener.com.
Hi, I'm Cyber. I do games badly, and I talk about lore, which is especially super. I'm saying that for a reason. This Saturday, on my channel twitch.tv/cyberwolf1, I'm gonna be doing a sort of charity stream, like I do every year, first week of December, where I'm gonna be playing through the entirety of the story of Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, the Zelda game that just came out, and raising money for the Wolf Conservation Center of New York, National Alliance on Mental Illness, Black Girls Code, and the Critical Role Foundation, and the charities that they support. Splitting stuff between those, and just talking a lot about some Zelda lore and the Calamity of Breath of the Wild. So it's going to be a real good time. I have to talk about time paradoxes, so that's fun. That's real fun. But it's so good. I'm so excited for it. It's been a while since I've been this excited about a stream. That's going to be at 2 Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/cyberwolf1201. Yeah, so check out that. Check out the YouTube because there's lots of VODs, including like a full playthrough of the last Tower Warriors game. And stuff. YouTube.com/cyberwolf1201. Check out Jabroni TV because they have a lot of cool stuff going on. I think they're still doing Phasmophobia at the office. The JIPS, the Jabroni Paranormal Society, JPS. Yeah, that's funny. Check that out. There's other cool stuff happening. But for RPG stuff that I'm doing, I'm here playing Arjhan. And I promise soon I'll stop changing his class and entire build whenever I stop getting bored of it. I also play Arjhan, except as a dungeon master here on Thursdays, where we play Tyrant Security or Ria the Wanderer. We're going up against another mercenary company there, so that's a real fun time. We're infiltrating other headquarters. It's gonna be fun. Mind flayers might be involved. But that's cool. Sometime, someday in December, I'm gonna be on High Shelf Gaming again playing Werewolf the Apocalypse. That's a good time. I'm a yoga instructor who needs therapy, so that's fun. And I think that's it. DanaeKeener.com.
Hey, speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I also play as Cori under the Legend Paladin on Mondays, and coming up on Sundays, not this Sunday, but the following one, I'm going to be running Icewind Dale on this channel. Woo! New campaign, it's going to be super fun, it's going to be super scary, and it's going to be very, very cold, so pack your parkas. I'm also going to be here Sunday, or not here, but on the Hype Goblins channel with RJ for the Nexus, playing as Fibble to Do. She is a lovelorn shepherd with a very tragic tale of unrequited love. That's it for me. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can find us anywhere audio casts are made available for free under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are now going to be going into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community that is being hosted over at patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, join us on Discord, post the questions in the side of the Twitch chat, leave them in the comments on the YouTube or audiocast, wherever, and we will do our best to respond in kind. So with that, I would like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!